This is easily the number one thing to consider when moving to Eugene. Hello, it's Hannah Caldwell, local Eugene realtor, and I serve clients just like you every day that are relocating to Oregon from out of state. Yes, the biggest thing to consider, and the biggest thing that I think deters people maybe from moving to Eugene, is the weather. As you can see, it's pouring down raining, which is lovely. And it is like this a vast majority of the year. I would say anytime from October to April or May, you're gonna have more gloomy, rainy days than not. It's not to say that there aren't beautiful summers. The summers are beautiful. In fact, I would go as far as saying that Eugene has 4 distinct seasons. Granted, we only get snow maybe a day or 2 a year, give or take. But you definitely want to consider what the weather impact would be on you if you're planning a move to Eugene. Do you have seasonal depression? Does it just make you unmotivated, like it maybe does me? This is definitely the biggest consideration for most people when they're moving to Eugene. Oh, and don't let an Oregonian catch you with an umbrella. Are you a real Oregonian? We don't use umbrellas. So we can't talk about what you need to consider when moving to Eugene without talking about the cost of living. It's high. When you're moving to Eugene, you have to think about what all of the costs are that you're gonna have associated with your move. And I think that your biggest one is going to be housing. Housing costs are really high in Eugene. There just is not a lot of inventory available. We have really maxed out where we can build within city limits, and as a result, the only things being built are high-rise apartment complexes, mostly taken up by students, and other than that, it's just infill. So housing costs are high. Median housing cost in Eugene right now is around $540,000. If you want to rent a 3-bed, 2-bath house, you're looking at least $2,000 a month. So you definitely want to consider how much you can afford when you're thinking about moving to Eugene. Within that, you're also going to want to make sure that you probably have a job lined up already. The job market in Eugene is not huge, so don't move here unless you've considered these things. Now, I've read quite a few numbers on this, but it's safe to say that if you are a single person moving to Eugene, you're going to need a salary of at least $50,000 to $60,000 just to cover your basic cost of living. Oftentimes when you hear about Eugene, you'll hear about homelessness. Homelessness is a really complex issue, and it's an issue that plagues a lot of places in the United States. Though we do have a large population of homeless in Eugene, we also have a lot of community partners, nonprofit organizations, and city policy planners that are working together to create solutions to the problem. Community Supported Shelters is a nonprofit that's trying to provide safe shelter for our unhoused population. Homelessness simply is a reality of living in Eugene. So it's definitely something that you're going to want to consider if you're considering moving here. The next thing you're going to want to consider if you're thinking about moving to Eugene is just kidding. I don't have allergies. I was born and raised here. But if you do have allergies, you're going to want to consider that when you're moving to Eugene. It has had one of the highest pollen counts ever recorded. It's something near 1,600. So if you have allergies or asthma or any of these sorts of conditions, you are going to want to consider this when you're thinking of making a move to Eugene. The last thing that you'll want to consider if you're thinking about moving to Eugene is that it is a university town. And while this may be a great thing for some, could be a downside for others. On game days, there is going to be significant traffic near Autzen Stadium. If you're thinking about living near university, then you could have some rentals or some sororities or fraternities right next door. You'll also want to think about the fact that this does have a big impact on the demographic of Eugene. Eugene has a lot of the younger population, those just leaving university, and also has a lot of retirees. But one of the complaints that people have is that Eugene is lacking that middle age group. So if you are thinking about having a young family and wanting to move to Eugene, it may be something to consider. While I don't agree with this point, having a young family myself and having lots of community, it is something that people say. So if you're thinking of moving to Eugene, you are going to want to consider that it is a huge university town, whether that's a good thing for you or a bad thing. Well, there you have it. What a perfect example of a day for Oregon weather. Those are my biggest 5 things to consider when you're thinking about moving to Eugene. And again, here we are in the rain, probably the biggest one. It was raining earlier today. We had 3 hours of rain. Just in the time it took me to get to campus, we had sunshine. We had 3 hours of sunshine, and here we are back in the rain. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more videos about weird things, good things, bad things, all about Eugene, Oregon and the surrounding cities, and I'll see you next time.